Oh.
Aye.
No comment on that.
That's probably the best intro I've ever heard. Oh, I know.
I don't think you've got any sound, mate. That's what's happening, as per the YouTube comments.
Oh dear.
Who doesn't have sound?
No one. Oh no, I can hear other folk, just not Corbett.
Oh, no.
Oh.
That is weird, actually. Why is he... He shouldn't be muted. He's on. Top left cam. Monitor off. Yep, all good. What the hell's happened here? What? Oh, that's annoying. Right, yeah, give me a second. Top left cam. This is fucking hell, I know. So bad. I don't see anything wrong. Everything should be sound, but true enough, there's no sound wave. Say something, Corbett. No, it's not picking up your audio. That's fucked. Strange. Right. Why the fuck is that happening?
Well,
Let's just turn off and restart.
Oh, wait a minute.
I just muted myself and then unmuted myself.
Yeah, that's it. It's come back. There you go.
What the most fucking IT thing ever. Turn it off and turn it on
Right.
again.
Right.
Crawford Jeffries summed it up well and says that was as good as our start on Saturday.
The fucking annoying thing is that we've got an IT janitor on the call on this fucking pod, and yet he sat there shitting his pants, silent as fuck, not even offering a single suggestion on how the fuck you fix it. Cheers, Kev. Cheers, Kev.
This is what Kev does at work anyway. He just comes along and says, "Have you turned it off and put it back on?"
100%. 100%. That's all you're supposed to do. Plus, I'm still on Caribbean time, so I'm 4 hours behind you. So I'll give you a catch up shortly.
You've been on holiday, Kev. Sod off. No one likes a smart ass.
We've all been to the Caribbean, Kev.
Ken, I only want you to follow in your footsteps, Corbett.
Ken, get some original ideas, Kev. Oh, that means that everybody missed my unbelievable patter.
I know, they got to hear our shitty reaction to it as well.
Yeah, Ken, you're literally getting no idea what we said.
What?
Should I repeat what I said for them?
Aye, I think it's worth it.
I want to hit as hard. Or Daddy to just fake laugh because I know the punchline.
Well, you fake laughed the first time anyway. So.
I probably did actually. It wasn't that funny.
Right, let's just crack on. I wasted the good jokes on you.
I like that.
What's been happening anyway, Tam? You alright?
Quite vaping. A great time. I'm an anxious, angry man at the moment, so Saturday really helped.
I can imagine it would have, absolutely.
What's going on with that face fuzz that you've got going on the...
Okay, we were just ignoring
Does that coincide?
It's been weeks, mate. I've just tried to... I just shaved it and then I cut off too much and I don't know.
It's like you're definitely getting positive Freddie Mercury vibes off that look. Like, you definitely just maybe not as lean.
Teeth or whatever.
There you go. Mate, I'm alright. I've not been doing this for 3 or 4 weeks. I've got a lot of pent up aggression I need to get rid of. And Saturday didn't fucking help, did it? So I will get to that in good time.
It did not. Exactly. Kev, how was the Caribbean?
It was good, mate. It was good. Nice to just chill out and relax and forget about Hearts for a few weeks.
Accurate.
And now you're.
And then I came back, went up to Aberdeen on Friday, and I want to go back to the Caribbean and relax again.
You got a pretty decent tan there, Kev. Just noticed this while you were talking about.
Aye, Aberdeen's right on the coast, Tam.
Oh, fair, yeah. Makes sense.
Of course you get. Of course you get a fucking good tan. Well, I'll have to come clean to our adoring fan base that when Toby Siwick chipped David Marshall, I stopped using a green pen to write my match or my pre-match notes, whatever you want to call it, and I've used a blue pen since, and Hearts have been utter fucking dog shit. So the good news is, because I'm superstitious, we're back to the green pen. So when Hearts finish third by 9 clear points, you can thank me. Don't thank me for the last 6 games, but thank me for when we finish where we need to. Well, thanks to everybody for joining as always. Everybody that's on YouTube, it's on the questions or whatever. Get your questions in, anything you want to talk about, anything you want to discuss. Just jump in. Tam will get to any of the comments, any questions as we go through. We've got a Tam down, we'll go through that. Then we'll go through some of the headlines. We'll talk about Saturday. Preview the upcoming games. Me and Tam did it last week in terms of we discussed the remaining 5 games and how much points we think we'd pick up. Get interesting to get Kevin Nando's take on it as well.
It's probably changed a lot since we said it. So
did the both of us? I'm pretty sure I had Hearts to lose on Saturday.
I had a draw.
Well, whatever. We can go through that.
But you did say lose, so you were right. Aye, spot on.
Aye, and we'll just talk all the shite in between. Sound good?
Absolutely.
Perfect.
We'll talk about the gaffers here before we get a Tam down, since it is the hot topic of the day.
Aye, what's going on with this?
It's mad that a hot topic that you just made up has become a hot topic. Like, to be honest, but you just drafted a tweet just to make everyone even more rage and just hope for the best.
Mate, how many? If you also have access to Twitter, there's about 8 draft tweets talking about Robbie's hair that I've been typing and then deleting and then typing and deleting, because I'm like, if I talk about it, folk will be like, "How do you know?" And I'll have to chuck my source under the bus. Which then, if we go on up your shite run and then he finish third, folk will be like, "How you shouldn't be fucking sharing club secrets, etc." So I kind of chuck him under the bus. But then I was like, "Fuck it, I'm doing it," because it's really annoyed me. The idea that he's going to walk out at Kelly Park like the fucking fourth Hanson is going to be my absolute fucking heat in. It will be utterly shite playing 3-4-3, but he'll be fucking combing his hair at the side of the pitch.
Right, so reading between the lines, our next game against Kilmarnock away is what? This is the next game on the 1st of April. He's gone away for a hair transplant between now and the 1st of April. And bear in mind that this isn't a setup. I know nothing about this story at all.
Well, aye, he's either cancelled it or rearranged it, but about 3 months ago, whenever he showed up with his baldy that he looked like he cut with a butter knife, who goes to the barber and gets a 4 all over, like get a proper haircut. I was discussing it with a friend, and they said he's getting it sorted in the March international break. He's got the same place that Charlie Mulgrew got his done, and then I hadn't even paid it a second thought until full time when we get beat 3-0 at Aberdeen. And I thought, when I was reading Twitter and folk were like, we need to change shape, we need to get back in the training field, get everything fix our problems. And I was like, wait a fucking minute, how are we going to fix our problems when the gaffer is getting his fucking turkey Tony done? So I'll take pelters if it's wrong. If 4 all over butter knife Robbie shows up at Kelly, then I'll take full responsibility for it. But it is funny.
It's just your name.
Folk are like, is that true? Is it no true? What's happening? Because he's not got a turkey. It's Portugal, by the way, just in case anybody doesn't know. I'm pretty sure it's Portugal, where Charlie Mulgrew got his haircut done, but we'll leave it at that.
You got a turkey for your teeth.
You can go to Turkey for pretty much anything these days. Like, you can get one of those Brazil bums at Turkey as well. Tam, is that where you got yours?
I got my tits done.
Yeah, well.
I actually told the story that somebody got their tits done and they got home and they only had one kidney. and they were having, and I was just like, what the fuck is happening here? And that was the story. And it wasn't me. I have to get my test done, but there you go.
Sound, mate. They never noticed that they had a big hole in their side. They were too busy looking at a cracking set of tits.
They got skin taken away from it. I don't know, man. But I just thought it was mental. But share.
Fucking hell.
It is mental, like.
Mental.
Totally,
me and Hamish were saying how mental it was.
Well, you were at the rugby on Saturday.
Aye. You are a tit, Tam.
Yep.
Right. Let's get a Tam down. Let's get a Tam down. Let's get the show going. Come on.
No worries. So you're just talking about our next game. It's at Kilmarnock on the 1st of April. So it made me think back to the 18th of January 2011. It was my birthday weekend. We went down to Kilmarnock. I don't remember getting back, but I do remember it was a 2-1 victory. So
I've told you numerous times to stop talking about that game.
Is this where your brother ended up in getting hate?
No, that was a totally different game.
All right, okay, that's fine. I'll let you with it.
Totally different game. We've had a few escapades down at Kilmarnock, if you can class it as an escapade, and a shite hole it is. But anyway, so that day we ran out on it was a Tuesday night, as I say, 18th of January, Premier League match against Kilmarnock. Who wants to start us off? Let's start with, let's go with you, Tam. Give you a chance.
What year did you?
2011. January 18th, 2011.
McDonald goals.
He wasn't in goals, but he was on the bench.
He was on the bench, okay.
Corbett?
Continuing that theme, I'll go Marian Kello.
Corbett with Kello, correct. Ando?
Zal.
Yep, Big Zal played that particular day. Back to yourself, Tam.
Webster.
Just checking to see if he was on the bench that day. He was not, mate. So out. Corbett.
Good start, Tam.
Yep.
Ryan McGowan.
McGowan was on the bench, mate, so I will give you that. Ando?
He is a gun, doesn't he, like Hybees?
I believe so, yes. I believe that was the old tune. Mr. Lee Wallace. Tam, back to you.
Ready.
Mr. Scatchell.
Yes.
Nope, another one. Dear me, Tam.
Did he come back in that summer or something? What am I doing?
Okay, mate. You're absolutely all over the place. Absolutely all over the place. Back to you, Corbett.
Was friend of the show or regular feature on the show was Boozid playing?
Mr. Boozid was playing, Corbett, correct?
Yeah, sod.
I think you've just taken one off Handel.
Aye. Big Davy Obua.
Obua played, yep. Back to you, Tam.
I'm just guessing here, so I don't know.
No shit, mate.
Jamie Hamill.
Jamie Hamill. Was he on the bench? No, Jamie Hamill was not.
For fuck's sake.
You're doing bloody well, buddy.
Did you get any points at all?
He's got one. He got McDonald, who was on the bench.
I got subkeeper.
Oh, aye, you got the subkeeper, right?
Corbett.
I've got to say his name wrong. Morovchek or whatever he's called, the guy that was actually decent.
Aye, Morovchek was playing that night. Back to you, Ando.
Steve-O? Ryan Steve-O?
Steve-O was a sub, came on that night. Nearly said who he came on for, but we'll leave that there when they work. Tam.
Kevin Kyle.
Kevin Kyle was again not at the club at that time, mate. So
was he not?
No, he wasn't, mate.
Nah, I'm googling that. He was at the club at that time. He must have been.
You can do it after we finish this.
Aye, Google it. Aye, Google it later.
I'm not. It doesn't matter. I'm not going to fucking catch any of them.
Well, there is that, mate.
Andy Driver.
Andy Driver. Actually, that's a very good shout.
It was 2010 to 2012, by the way, so I was right. But
Aye, but you never played. Makes the difference.
okay, it's fine.
Andy Driver wasn't in the team that night.
Oh.
Wow, Corbett didn't get one. Shit.
Hey,
That was me trying to go less obvious so that I can win.
Ian Black.
Ian Black.
Yep.
Just to let you know, Ando, Stevenson came on for Ian Black.
I knew
There
that.
you go. Of course you did, buddy. I have full faith in you. Tam.
Ow, fucking hell.
You do realise if you get one new, Tam, we know you've Googled it.
Now that you've Googled it, if you're still getting them wrong, that's quite bad.
Oh fuck! So if I got it, I was just going to go with another striker and Stephen Elliott, but
Stephen Elliott. Yes, he did play, mate.
That one you found on Google.
Or
good
either
guess.
that, or somebody's actually stuck it on the chat on YouTube.
Aye, I forgot about the chat.
Aye, well, I can.
nobody's
think I can
answered. To
turn
be
that
fair, I
off.
can see. I can only see somebody saying. I don't know how to say that. That guy you said.
Morovich. The only thing I can see is Bobby McBobbin saying Tam's Turkey Tash. That was
Possible
definitely worth a
another
laugh.
Corbett, back to you.
You'll come back for the Kelly game with 2 wee pleats. This is a punt because of how injured he was, but David Templeton.
Templeton did play, buddy. Yep. Must have been before he got kiboshed.
Aye.
Zal. Zal. Ando.
Mate, I'm chapping. I can't.
How many got left?
So
we've got the keeper, the right back, the 2 centre backs, the left back. We've got the 2 midfielders. We've got the 2 wingers. Well, we've got 1 winger and a striker left to get.
2 midfielders and a striker or winger from the point of view of the starting 11. And then you've still got 1, 2, 3 subs to get.
Well.
Right. Is it
Zando,
Ando again?
Zando, aye.
Oh, right. Sorry, Ando.
Nah, you're all right. Nah, but it's a pass from me. I'm chapping. I need to have a think.
No worries.
Suso.
That was going to be my guess, but you've just stole my spot, so that's fine.
Oh shit.
So who wants it? Do you want to take Suso, Tam, and get possible points? Or
Nah, that means it's wrong. That means it's wrong.
Meditile.
Tam, what are you going with?
I was honestly going to say Susan, so I'll say it, but I don't think it's right.
No, you're right. It was wrong. Corbett.
Was Novakovic there?
Novakovic, yes, he was.
Nah, you've got the YouTube open, mate. David McClure just said that.
I didn't even have YouTube yet after. I literally don't even have YouTube.
Don't even know what YouTube is.
Ando.
YouTube.
This will be a swing and a miss, but fucking Gary Glenn. That and if it no,
Gary Glenn, aye.
Oh,
on the bench that night. Gary Glenn was on the bench that night and actually came on for David Abua.
That genuinely, I'm chapping. That was a swing and a hit. Luckily, I've got nothing else, so don't even bother coming back to me.
No worries, Tam.
What have we got? How many left?
So you've got 2 midfielders from the starting 11 still to find, and we have a fairly easy centre half, a fairly tough midfielder, stroke right back.
We got Darren Barr.
Darren Barr was where I was going to go next. Thompson. Ginger Thompson.
So I'm not sure if it's Ginger Thompson or the other Thompson that we didn't want to talk about.
Right.
If I'm being truthfully honest
Let's
with you.
just say Ginger.
Okay, let's go with that one.
I think it was Ginger at that
I
time.
think he'd went by that point, to be honest with you.
I
But
think you're right. I think he has gone at that point, but aye. Was that right with Darren Barr?
So Darren,
Yeah.
Darren Barr.
Oh, okay.
Did we play some weird formation and he played midfield, or was he on the bench?
Darren Barr was on the bench that night.
Right, okay.
And didn't feature in the actual game at all. So we're missing 2 starters for the game. Both of them midfielders.
So we play 4-5-1.
Yeah, I would say so. Looking at the team, and that one was either Templeton or Novakovic up front.
Ruben Palace-Wheelers.
Ruben Palazuelos.
Oh shit! I think I know the other one only because I've seen it in the YouTube chat. So I can't.
Right, well, wait,
I can't
At
take it.
least you've been honest.
I
At least
can't
you've been
take
honest,
it.
mate.
Let me try.
I can't take it.
Let me try and get Egert Jonsson, faceless Lithuanian.
Yes,
Bosh.
correct.
That's what they've
There
said.
you
So
go.
aye.
That is the man.
Have we got one more on the bench, or we got them all?
Not got them all.
Who's the sub keeper? I don't remember the second keeper.
Jamie
McDonald.
McDonald.
Jamie McDonald.
I
That
nearly
was the first one that Tam got.
That was the one I got. The only one I got.
So from that, Tam, you got well, you got two, mate. Because you got Darren Barr as well as McDonald.
Oh, I thought I got more than that. Fucking hell.
Well, I'm just looking at your name, mate, and you've got like blank, 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 blank. So no, you got two, buddy.
Well, you've got wank against yours.
You're such a little turd, aren't you?
There we go. There we go. But yeah, I'll.
What's the other
I'll take
scores,
a skewer.
Kev? I want to know how many I got. At least four.
Ando, you got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Okay, and then Corbett wins with 7 or whatever.
Correct.
Aye. As usual.
That was respectable.
That's fine. Put up a good show there. As long as just the trick is don't be the slowest gazelle. Like is just
yeah, Ken, you boy.
just
Only got to be faster than Tam. That's all you've got to be. Only got to be faster than Tam. You're sounding it.
Yeah.
That's another thing actually. Just thinking of who played, it just reminds you how fucking shite a record we've got there. I'm trying to think as well. I think what the last time would it have been Uche with a header? The last time we won there.
Did you know Uche in the same game not actually like fall over the ball at the side of the park?
No, it was a different game, and that was against St Johnston.
Oh, was it? Sorry.
Kilmarnock's one of the places that I've never seen us win, and I've been there a lot. And because it is fairly close, it's not difficult to not anymore, right enough. But when I stayed in Scotland, it was not difficult to get to. It's a good day out as well. But in all the times I've been there,
3-1 after that actually. On like a Wednesday night, or was that in the cup or something?
Beat them in the cup with 2 goals in the last few minutes. I think we had it as an old game discussion many episodes ago.
It was on TV, and like Sean Clare and Stephen McLean and all that played. I'm pretty sure it was like 3-1 or 3-2 or something like that, because we've never done it easy. We made it fucking hard for ourselves, as always. Right. Let's get into it. We've been pleasant enough. Let's fucking get slaughtered in the useless cunts that we've seen on Saturday. We start with headlines and talk about. I don't know. We'll talk about Shankland's comments first today in the paper or in the press. Kev, did you read them?
I did read them. I think it's quite a big statement for him to come out and say what he said about how the fact that he understands where the fans were coming from with a reaction at the end of the game. The statement though that did grab my attention and probably a number of other people's attention was in regards to the fact that nobody really had a clue as to what they were actually supposed to be doing. That's a worrying statement as far as I'm concerned. I'm just trying to actually get the actual words that he came out with.
No, it was pretty much words to that effect. I'll play devil's advocate here, and having read it a few times, I don't think that's a swipe at Robbie. I think that's a swipe at the players. I don't think, in my opinion, I don't think he meant we went out and we didn't know what we were doing. I think he just meant like players were out there and acted like they didn't know what they were doing.
Yeah. I guess
if it isn't, then fucking hell, we're in a worse state than we thought.
Yeah, I mean, I think he's. I think you could look at the actual statement itself as in 2 different ways, and maybe that's the way he's wanted it to come across. One as a little bit of a direct hit at management, saying you didn't really set us up, or you didn't give us the right instructions or whatever. That's a worry. But also the point of view, as you rightly say, that it was actually a little bit of an aim of the other players, and that they were told to do a certain job and they simply just didn't do it. So yeah, it could work both ways. But I guess that's what you do as a captain.
Aye, and to be fair, I liked, again, we've said before, and I'll keep saying it, but since he's stepped in to become the captain or whatever, I think he's took to it brilliantly. His reaction after the game Saturday was good. I acknowledge the fact that it wasn't good enough, which takes balls to do. And then obviously he's had a bit of a swipe at his teammates and potentially the manager, the club, etc. And we need, for me, we're in a place where we need that. We've got sometimes come across that we've got too many nice guys. We need some folk in there to be like, sorry, but you need to get your fucking finger out, because getting beat, I've said it a million times, getting beat is part for the course when you're a Hearts fan. It's what happens, but it's the manner in which you get beat. The manner in which we get beat by Celtic at Celtic Park versus how we got beat by Celtic at home. Same results, we still got beat by 3, but at Celtic Park we were hungry, we were energetic, we were in their faces, we actually played okay. At Tynecastle we were fucking shite, ran all over the topi, and at no point on Saturday against Aberdeen did we look like we were ever going to win. We looked chaotic for the start. So yeah, I was pretty happy in a sense to see Shankland's comments, and I thought it was on the money. Did you ever read it, Amanda? What did you think?
I didn't read the comments, but I did see just a very brief headline. I think it was on the BBC website earlier on, saying that Shankland had basically apologised for the performance on Saturday. And you know what, I'm all for that, because I think the manner of that defeat on Saturday, just to your point, is the bit that sticks in my throat the most. It's like shambolic, disgraceful, very, very strong words to use, but it's nothing short of that. Like, it was like a completely ignominious defeat, and for him to come out and say, right, I'll be the figurehead and say apologies for all you shite bags in there, then you know what, fine, I'm all for it. But I hope that they got absolutely leathered for that, because it's utterly shambolic. Again, we'll cover the detail and probably the game in more detail shortly. But all for it. I like the fact that he's come in and made that statement, because it's too easy just to turn around and say, yeah, fine. You know what? It's part of the game. We take it on the chin and we move on to the next one and almost brush it aside. But actually giving it the acknowledgement that it deserves from a fan's point of view. Well done.
Yeah. Tam, do you think the reaction for Hill at the end on Saturday has kind of made Shankland play that card?
I think so. He's obviously been he uses social media as well. He's seen the pelters Hill's been getting for his reaction, and he's going to have to come out and just say people need to look at themselves and stop blaming others. I liked how he compared it to the Motherwell game, where he says that we needed to learn from those mistakes, and it looks like we've learned nothing, no work to do anything. And yeah, I think just basically telling the players to look at themselves like a captain should, and hopefully he's saying that in the dressing room,
for my benefit. And let's just assume that I hadn't had any idea of what James Hill's reaction was at the end of the game on Saturday, because I turned it off at half time knowing we were fucked. What happened? What did James Hill do?
So once the handshakes amongst players has been done, all the players came across along with the manager, sort of applaud the fans for driving 2.5, 3 hours, whatever, up the road, maybe further for some. And a couple of fans have given their opinion back of just exactly what we've been saying here, is that they simply didn't turn up for the game at all, and you're, to an extent, they're in a very privileged position of being professional football players, and sometimes it comes across that they have that sort of privilege and don't actually apply themselves in the right way, like we would do if we were wearing a Hearts shirt, right? Mm-hmm. And that's I think we'll all probably be exactly the same and say that that's all you ask, is you wear that shirt with pride and you play football with a bit of pride about it. But there was certain fans that gave an opinion that simply did not, something that James Hill did not agree with, and he wanted to remonstrate with said fans. And Humphreys pulled them back and sort of ushered them away and down the tunnel. And you know where the away fans are, so he's had to go right across the full length of the width of the park to get back down the tunnel. And it didn't come across very well. I was at the top of the stairs at the time, and if I'm being honest, I was a wee bit disgusted in it, and I just turned my back, walked into the pub. It was as simple as that. But I know he's came out today on social media.
Politician answer of said somebody calling him shite.
I think if they'd called him shite on Saturday, I don't think there would have been the reaction that he got, mate. I think it was a bit more stronger than shite.
The 2 sentence answer to that is someone called him out for being utterly fucking jobbies. He's took umbrage at that and then fucking try to start with the fans.
Correct, and I would say that only because the fact he was the closest to the fans, I think he felt that it was directed at him. I think the fans were actually just directing at every single one of them. And if I'm being truthfully honest, I seen Robbie come onto the pitch and sort of applaud the fans, but even the way he applauded the fans, I was actually a little bit disgusted in him. It was like a sort of token gesture as such. But hey, he was too busy thinking of making sure he's got his passport and his bag packed for his flight to possibly Portugal, possibly Turkey, any other Greece. Don't care.
Maybe that's why his hands have went all weird with his clap, because he's not had his hair to.
That was his
run his fingers through. That's what he did, and his hands are all seized up because he's nothing to rub. You put it so eloquently, but fuck James Hill. You can fuck off back to Bournemouth. Utter dog shit. And if you think fans telling you that you're shite gives you that right to react like that, you can fuck off. Get your finger out. Do your job.
Do you reckon he's got a Joe Pereira like loan deal where he has to play? No.
I don't know. Yeah. I don't know.
Because he should have been dropped by now.
It was embarrassing. It was embarrassing to see him get beat, from the boy Duke, who's about 5'2", for a header. That was, to me, was just. But I will say that the one thing that Hill did that everybody in the away end actually did appreciate was the tackle, which was one of the most fairest tackles I've ever seen. Cleaned it, got the ball, then cleaned the boy out. But seemingly the referee decided to give him a yellow card. Arsehole.
Shame we were 3-0 down.
Correct. Should have been done in the first minute. We wouldn't have then lost a goal after 3.
Aye, and like I said before, I watched at the Celtic game. I watched Kyogo, who's 5'5", win a header in between Sibic and Hill. It's unacceptable. It's the same shit week after week that I have no idea how they're getting away with it. I don't know if we'd spoke about it before, but we mark positions in the box. What happened to good old days where you're given a man before the game and you say at every set piece, he's your man. And when you go off, you pass him on to your person that comes on, because the Carter Vickers goal for the header at Tynecastle, we're marking an area, we're not marking the people that are in it. And Carter Vickers goes in between the centre halves and scores a header. Duke does it on Saturday. Fiorentina did it. Fucking Ross County did it. Like, it's getting embarrassing, the same shit on repeat. So, but we'll come into how embarrassing Hearts are.
I'm sure Kelly's top scorer is a centre half as well, so that's really good.
That's good. Aye. Well, actually, one of the things that annoyed me is Kelly, when they knocked us out the League Cup at Tynecastle, scored for a header that was a ball in that split our centre halves and scored.
And that was in what? October, September, something like that.
October.
They did the same thing in the league game as well.
Yeah.
Aye. I know.
And it was Ash Taylor.
Beyond.
He is fucking shite.
Oh, mate, I know, but though, don't worry about that. Oh, you've just remembered me now, so I can be fucking raging. Is that actually they had 3 free kicks in a row, didn't they? The first one, they made an absolute arsey and put it out. The second one, Gordon had to make an unbelievable save. And the third one, they scored. And it was the same 3 crosses into the box. So I'm looking forward to that on the 1st of April, or whenever the fuck it is that we play Kilmarnock.
Who will be fulfilled this time? Oh, for fuck's sake.
Yeah. But a couple of things creeping in, and part of me kind of likes it, because I don't like the idea of people being subbed off in the first half or whenever it is and accepting it. But, the rumours are that, Robbie and Cochrane were arguing pretty much the whole first half before he was taken off, etc. Again, you're 3-0 down, and your manager's idea to fix the game and to pull you back into it is to bring on left back for left back, which fucking bananas. I know that we went to 4 at the back then and put Sibic in midfield, but the fucking horse is bolted, mate. We're 3-0 down.
Oh, fuck.
Like, do you know what I mean? Like, how poor we are reactionary wise really bugs me, because when we go 1-0 down, plan B is to do plan A better, and then we go 2-0 down and it's already fucked. This
you know
is the
you
thing.
sound like Mark Warburton.
Mate, that's exactly what it is, mate. That's exactly what it is. And that's what's annoyed me now, is see when I called out Barry Mackay against Zurich, I think it was, and I said, he does fucking nothing. He's hiding. And everybody's like, oh, fucking, what game are you watching? He's a fucking superstar. Guess what? We're in April, almost, and he's still doing fuck all. See if we'd actually analysed what had happened in those games and actually held the team and scrutinised them for getting pumped at him before Fiorentina, Istanbul, considering the same goals. Maybe, just maybe, we wouldn't be in March and April talking about the same shitey mistakes that happen week on week. Maybe if we'd actually put our manager under some pressure, without it having to be hire a plane, sack him, etc., and actually scrutinised what he was doing, we could have addressed the fact that we do nothing when plan A isn't working right until plan A, which is plan B, which is today plan A better, is completely fucked and you're two goals down. He did it against Rangers at home, reacted. It was already done. The game was already done. We were all over the place and you couldn't react to it. He's did it again on Saturday. We're already done and he's reacted to it late. And it's everything. Go back to fucking episode 50 or 40 or whatever the hell it was when we're talking about us in the championship. When we are seemingly coasting and got no pressure, we just start to make so many stupid mistakes. Again, we win on Saturday. That's it. We're done. Third's finished. We're 10 points in front of Aberdeen. We're 8 points in front of Hibs. A big team with the ambitions of the club. As we say, our CEO is in the press talking about how big we are and fucking cutting the gap to Celtic and Rangers. The manager's saying that. Joe Savage is saying that. The players are talking about, oh, we're cutting the gap to Celtic and Rangers. All the while, our gap between us, Hibs and Aberdeen gets eaten away. Do you know we've won the same amount of games this season as Aberdeen?
That's terrifying.
Absolutely
terrifying.
Aberdeen
are having, you ask anybody, Aberdeen are having a terrible season. They're in crisis. I think we've won one more game than Hibs.
And again, you're right, we have.
Fucking
hell.
It's when you look at our away record as well, which is scary.
You want to talk about our away record in the last 2 years? I think we've won 3 away games this season.
You're right. Yep.
And we only won 5 away games last year. 2 of them coming in Dundee, 2 of them coming in Paisley, the other one coming at Livy. Like
the thing is, this is nothing new. This is something that's been ongoing for years. It's not just the last 2 years. It's the last 10 years. We've had a terrible away record. It's bizarre.
The problem that we have now is that we are now in a situation where we will have to pick up points away from home, because if we were 10 points clear, basically that's 4 defeats to get that, to claw that back and get in front of us. So there's 9 games left. 5 of them are at home, 4 of them are away from home. So you win your home games, or as close to winning your home games as you can, taking away the fact that all of us have to play Celtic and Rangers. You're coasting, right? You're coasting. Now we're 2 defeats away from being behind them, both of them. And now we have to win away games. Now we have to go to Kilmarnock next Saturday and win. We have to go to Easter Road and not lose. If that isn't terrifying Hearts fans, then you're living under a rock. You're living under a rock. That means we've got 8 away wins in the league in two seasons. 2 seasons. That's no good enough.
No,
Nowhere near good enough. And again, if we'd properly scrutinised getting beat away to Livy and addressed it, then Joe, high line, no diff. They scored for a set piece at Livy. That's how they scored. It was a free kick into the box.
Do you think it could be a case of we don't have somebody who can put in a decent cross or a decent free kick? That's why we don't actually train that, or actually train against that during the week.
Probably got one of the best in the league.
He's not been doing it lately,
Robert
mate.
Snodgrass.
He's not been doing it lately.
I know, but like just on basis of what he's capable of.
Some of his corners on Saturday were absolutely horrific. You know, that dead ball that you're expecting him to actually do just hasn't been there. And that way, you know, we just there. I can't mind what the boy's name is, but the boy that took Aberdeen's corners in the second half, we put 4 in at the same on one after the other, and each one you thought Aberdeen are going to score here because we didn't look like we knew what to do or how to defend it.
Well, but on paper, we've done exactly how we were set up. We've defended areas. It's no zonal. We don't mark zonal, but we mark areas. We don't go man for man. We mark an area. So it's almost schoolboy, right? You get the front post. I'll get in the middle. I'll get the back post. And it's you watch Celtic run rings around it. You watched Aberdeen run rings around it too. We literally we looked panic stations at the back.
And the stupid thing about it as well, about that whole thing, Corbett, is the fact that on Saturday we had James Forrest back defending in a corner.
But James Forrest,
we should have had him as well as Forrest was back. Was back defending. Get him up. We're 3-0 down. Get him up on the halfway line. Ask them a question so that if Clark does get it, you've got an out. We never do it. We never do it
the whole season.
See, just to bring this to life a little bit, right? So Robbie Nielsen's second spell in charge, right? We have had 34 away matches in the league. How many of them do you think we've won?
6.
Outside of the championship or including the championship?
This is just in the Premier League, right? So second stint in charge, Premiership only. 8. Oh, you're very close.
8 games.
Very close. 9 out of 34. Right, that's shite. If you expand that out to the championship, I'll need to recalculate. But it's it's fucking crap.
Here's even more worry for you, right? In Robbie's time in charge, in the top flight, he has 1 win against Aberdeen in Aberdeen, no wins versus Hibs at Easter Road, no wins versus Rangers at Ibrox, no wins v Celtic at Celtic Park. Right, and you think, right, well, it's harsh to judge him on Celtic and Rangers, right? Fine. You look at Aberdeen and Hibs. You then look at things like historic top 6. So look at Motherwell, right? I think he's beat Motherwell twice in the league, away from home. Mental. That's bananas. Then you look at, right, well, who else is in there? Livingston. He's got 1 victory at Livingston away from him. Mate, it's shocking. It is.
Kev's right though. It's not nothing new.
No, but that's not an excuse, Tam. That's not an excuse.
And that's probably the excuse we've always used. We didn't win away from home, and that's what Corbett's trying to say is we need to change that whole mentality.
You want to be Aberdeen because that's where we're focusing hard, and I want to be Derek McInnes's Aberdeen. Well, we're not because we're not as good. No. They showed up to Tynecastle, beat us 3-0 when they needed to. Like they went. So again, I think this week or next week we're away to Kilmarnock. Hibs are at home in Motherwell, and Aberdeen are away to St Johnstone. Hibs and Aberdeen will win. 100% Hibs and Aberdeen will win. Hearts need to win on Saturday, and I would tell you now, Hearts will draw at Kilmarnock. Hearts will not win at Kilmarnock. I can tell you that right this very second because historically we don't. That's what happens. And that is why Saturday was massive because the season, if we go into the split, our split record is a fucking joke. It's embarrassing how bad we are in the split. And that goes all the way back to when the split started. So if you think we're winning more than 1 game in the split, we will need to change our history in the split to win more than 1 game. So as if the league was to split right now, I think we would have Aberdeen, Hibs, and Celtic at home, plus Livingston or Livy 6.
Livy 6, aye.
So Livingston. So that instantly means that we've got way too many home games. Yeah, so the SFA will make us move one of our home games to be an away game. So straight away, we're either going to have to go to Pittodrie 3 times, Easter Road 3 times, or Livingston 3 times.
I'll no do hang me. They wouldn't. I don't think they would do Hibs. So it would be either Aberdeen or Livy.
Right. So yeah.
And that's no positive for us anyway.
Exactly.
No. We can't play in plastic, and we can't.
I'll tell you now, they would likely move for us to go to Levy 3 times because it is the greater benefit. It's quite close.
Aye.
It gets them more money, blah, blah, blah. All things considered, that's what would happen.
So it's proper worrying. That's why Saturday was the Motherwell game. You can kind of write off, right? They're a new manager, whatever, right? We're not that you write it off. If we'd done our job there, we'd have been in a better position than we are right now. But Saturday was the statement game. Playing against your rivals, a team that you beat 5-0, a team that are in free fall, apparently, crisis, etc., etc., etc. You're the establishment third club that wants to go up and prove this point that we're the third best team in this country. We're going to get European football. We're going to stranglehold all this type of stuff. All the swagger that the club's had for the past 18 months when everything's been rosy, and we are 3-0 down after half an hour. And hanging on not to be 4-5. That's an embarrassment. That's an embarrassment. Like, it wasn't just the way that we got beat. It was the manner in which we got beat and the circumstances around getting beat, which was massively disappointing.
See, that has to go on to the players as well. I'm not just trying to defend Robbie, but that they've just not even fucking turned up that day. So it depends how they've been advised. Not advised, but they must have been told something before the game to go into that thinking it would be fucking easy like they did.
See,
see
the thing is,
I kind of disagree, but I'm going to go on.
What I was going to say is, like, I kind of like I see both sides of it. It definitely is a Nielsen thing, and it definitely is an element of the players thing as well. Because if you, I don't want to be this guy that says, right, look at all our injuries, but you could effectively replace that team, right, with another team of people that are injured that would have went out against Aberdeen under the same instructions and probably fucking pumped them, right? I know that sounds like a lazy answer, but it's I don't know, that for me, I do definitely think there was something in the dressing room. They just weren't up for it. Everybody was lackluster. The heads were down, and you can turn around and say, yeah, okay, fine, that's down to the manager. He's not inspiring them or like holding them to account, or this, that, and the other. But it's
Mate,
fucking abject from everybody, from every angle.
It's Lewis Hamilton in Formula 1, if you want to go down that route, right? The world champion racing driver. He can't win a fucking race now because his car's shit. Those players are probably pissed off because I think 3-4-3 again. Like, it's not worked for fucking 3 months. Here I am, I'm going to get fucking hung out to dry again, playing left wing back when I'm not a left wing back. Shanklin's thinking I'm playing fucking number 8. I'm not playing up front again. Mm-hmm. Like, so, and that's Robbie Nielsen. That's him that picks that. So the players, you're right, have got a duty to go out and do what they're asked. But when you're asked to go out and do something that you know isn't right and is constantly being scrutinised and is constantly not working, you must be thinking, are you fucking stupid? Like, how many more indicators do you need that this doesn't work? And Kev, do you know what fucking pissed me off, right? Robbie, after the game, this game's all about winning second contacts, winning first contacts. It's all about making sure you win your battles. Fucking Cammy Devlin sitting on the bench.
That fucked me off. Sorry, Kev.
No, bash on, mate. Carry on. You were on roll.
No. I was just going to say this. That I text my mate because he'd sent me the team line. Was that why the fuck is he on the bench? He should be starting. Sorry, rant over. Carry on, Kev. It's your show.
It's exactly
right.
Exactly what I was going to say. And he must also sit there on the bench, realising that we're losing the fight in the battle in the midfield, and then see that we've taken off a left back and putting another left back on, and moved a centre half into midfield.
Yeah.
Why not actually bring that guy on to make, to effectively boost your midfield, to be the tenacious little terrier that we know he is?
Mate,
because Graham Shinnie. Sorry, I'm just going to say, Graham Shinnie ran that fucking game for the first half.
Mate, it was Scott Brown last season when we got beat up there. It was the same fucking situation. And what bugs me, when Robbie is under the pressure, he never just says, I fucked up. He talks fucking shite and makes himself look like the knob that he fucking is. He also, in the same breath, is saying, "Oh, this game's all about winning first and second contacts, and I'll leave my best player at winning first and second contacts on the bench." He says he brought Kingsley on because Kingsley's got good experience, then there's a calm head in that situation. Fucking start him then, you idiot. You fucking stupid. Oh, as if I'm supposed to hear that and go, "Oh, he's my manager. Good thinking." You fucking dickhead. He should have started if that was your game plan. If you thought, I need pros in there with sensible heads and cool heads, oh, I know, put him on the bench then. The guy that when you're thinking, I need cool heads and a level head here, well, who should I turn to? Oh, the guy I put on the bench. You're in charge. You picked that team. That's what fucking annoyed me about Saturday. It is stupidity. Absolute.
Sorry for butting in, but I've missed this, Corbett.
Kev, we've praised, and I'll say it to everybody, right? I am the Robbie out, right? That I'm not there yet. We've praised Robbie to the hilt. I've sat in front of him and told him that I praised him to the hilt because he has delivered on results. And if he delivers third, he delivers third. For me, I've said before, I said last week, I'll say it again, it's about progression, right? Juggling European football and finishing third. If he manages to do that, season objectives done. Like, we stranglehold third, we get it for a second year running. That's going to be almost £18 million in 2 years in European football money. That helps the club build, right? But next year the progression has to be that we have to go to these places and win games. We've got to do it because right now Robbie's outlook or the club's outlook might be you win all of your games at home, which we do. Like, we're unbeaten at home since I think Dundee beat us ages ago outside the Celtic and Rangers. You win those games, then you're going to be best of the rest. That's just the way it goes. And then anything that you pick up on the road is a bonus, right? So, fine, that makes sense. My counter argument that would be, right, well, if everything you pick up on the road is a bonus, then why not just go for it? If you've already ripped them off and say, right, actually take care of the home games, anything that happens away from him, brilliant. Right, well, if you already ripped them off, go for it. What else are you going to lose?
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? So, but that's where the progression comes to. But the things like Saturday, just stick your hand up and say you made a cunt. Just don't embarrass us.
You're talking about season objectives there, right? And that's fine. If Robbie delivers everything that was set out in season objectives, then fine. We'll all be sitting here at the end of May or whenever it is, and all happy, clapping, and going, "Oh, well done!" Right? How good are we? Now I know it's still raw because it only happened on Saturday, but it's been spoken about already. There's ways to get beat, right? So if we do deliver the season, or he delivers the season objectives, the bit that is really going to fucking stick in my throat is the fact that those objectives could have arguably should have been set higher because we could have delivered so much more. It's like, aye, fair enough. You've got third place and you've had a first outing in Europe or whatever for the first time in ages, albeit we've made money, but we could have been so much better. We could have sealed up third this weekend. Right?
There's loads of opportunities like that. You're
so
right.
Much.
But you get to where you are, where we need to be with baby steps, in my opinion, right? Is like you said that, yeah, we could have saved ourselves a headache, but there's still 9 games to go, right? We're still in front. I get it. Saturday was unacceptable in loads of different ways, but we're no panic stations yet. Lose to Kilmarnock, then it's a different conversation. Do you know what I mean? We're looking at having to win probably 2 or 3 out of 3 heading into the split just to give ourselves that opportunity. And then basically the split is you have to do your job because it's cutthroat in there. Every game is 6 pointers. Do you know, for example, when we play Livingston, Celtic and Hibs and Aberdeen will be playing Celtic and Rangers or each other, so they're going to take points off each other. You know, so then you're looking at, you just have to beat one of them, and you're where you need to be, right? That's best case scenario. But you're right. I think we'll always look back and say we could have had so much more than what we had right now. But you build and you move and progress by doing it slowly. But the question comes in the summer for me, Kev, is if we finish third, like, do you stick with Robbie? Do you give him the benefit of the doubt? Do you see us getting any better than what we are right now with Robbie?
Well, I said this on Saturday, and we've all mentioned it. It was raw on Saturday night coming back down the road in the train. Me and some of the boys were talking about it. And I do start to now question, has Robbie hit the ceiling with us? Has he taken us as far as he can take us? Now, we can all sit here and, folk will be sitting in pubs after the game on Saturday or before the game next Saturday, whatever, talking about that element of, yeah, Robbie has gone and taken us as far as he can go. Well, that's perfectly fine. But where do you go next? Because if you go and look for another Scottish manager, a lot of Scottish managers are automatically freaked out by the Old Firm. By Celtic and Rangers, a lot of them have got that same sort of mindset of it's Celtic and Rangers, you never get a decision or you never get a win against them in Glasgow, blah, blah, blah. So then do you go, right, well, let's go down the foreign route. And you go down the foreign route, and that can be a lottery in itself. We've seen that ourselves. We've had a number of different managers that, go back to Sergio, for example. Yep, he won us the cup, and we had some great nights under Sergio with some of the games. Some of his football was boring as fuck. So from that point of view, and then you can go to Laszlo. Well, he was just an absolute, he was just as barking mad as the owner at the time. Stendhal, yeah, okay, you could have maybe stuck with Stendhal for a longer period. Would he have gone that? Would he have got us to that particular point, or as where we are at the moment? I think I seen something earlier on about, Robbie's had 67 games in top flight since we returned back into the Premier League. He's won 30 of those. I question whether or not another manager would have done that. And that's where
what was it, summer there? We're not letting
I was just about to say that he won't. I don't think he will get sacked if we finish third. And you've also got to look at that. If we finish third this season, and my outlook will be the exact same as it is for the season after, is that Robbie has to show that he's progressing. So I would say we've regressed against Celtic and Rangers this season, 100%. But then I actually look at the rest of the league and say, well, actually, nobody's beaten Celtic or Rangers. Rangers are having a crisis season, a terrible season, and they're on course to finish on 100 points. Like, that's mental. The gap between Celtic and Rangers and the rest has never been bigger. And the worrying thing for everybody is the gap between Celtic and Rangers has never been bigger, because Celtic are light years in front of Rangers and Rangers are light years in front of us. So the objection for me would be, if we got European football, we adapted to it better than we did this year. I'm not saying win games, but we aren't as easy to beat. And I said this before, folks say, oh, I wish Robbie would have a go at the Old Firm. I actually wish Robbie would stop having a go at the Old Firm, because we are too easy to play against sides that aren't shite. When teams have got good players that play in good shapes and know how to play the game, we really struggle. And we've seen that with Zurich, we've seen that with Riga at points, we've seen that with Fiorentina, Istanbul, we've seen that with Celtic and Rangers. And we've left ourselves way too open trying to attack them and trying to get them. I think this season at home, we've conceded 24 goals in 6 games against teams that are better than us and scored 3. And I think all 3 of those goals came against Celtic. So,
yeah,
we say progression is that he needs to be learning from his mistakes. He needs to react quicker in games, because we look miles off it all the time. Like I said, it shouldn't. You go a goal down after 3 minutes, and the next couple of minutes after that were as disjointed as we were and as shambolic as we were. He should have made changes then. He should have been like, this isn't working. And he should have made the changes there and then, because by the time we wait for 2-0, it's gone. And Tam, that's the thing that disappoints me the most about this team, is I watched Sheffield United Blackburn yesterday.
That was a class game, to be fair.
And I think Blackburn went 1-0 up, then it went 1-1, then it goes 2-1 Blackburn, and Sheffield United come back and win 3-2.
Yeah.
At no point when we played Celtic and went a goal down, when we went a goal down against Rangers, when we go a goal down against Kilmarnock, when we go a goal down against Aberdeen, when we go a goal down against Motherwell, when we go a goal down against Livingston, I think this team has got it in them to come it back and win.
You knew after that first goal on Saturday that was it.
Yeah, I knew it was done. No, we knew it was finished. You concede. We've said that every big game we've had this season, other than the derbies, touchwood, we have conceded inside the first 15 minutes. And I'll class Saturday as a big game because
what it meant,
and because of the momentum and where we are. The game at home against them, I wouldn't class that as a big game because they were in absolute dire straits, etc. at the time anyway. And loads of things went our way.
We 1-5 now. We're actually playing well.
Right, we didn't actually. We did play well. There was parts of that game we played really well.
To be fair, Shankland even said it in his comments today, something about it being like, we didn't even really have to try and we won 5-0. So,
is there anything coming through on YouTube or anything, any questions or any statements or anything?
I did want to go back to Crawford's point. He has asked, anyone going to have a dig at Joe Savage here? His recruitment has been good, but he's the head of football department. He should be pressuring Nielsen big time every day, give him a type.
We don't know.
Don't know. Yeah.
We sat in front of Joe Savage at the start of the season and on and off air when we were speaking to him, he said the first thing they did on the Sunday after the Scottish Cup final was sit Robbie down and say, what was that all about? So, again, everybody's on. Is a short answer. Everybody's under the microscope when it comes to this because James Hill, Nathaniel Atkinson, Keogh, Kuehl, Oda, they're all shit so far. They're not good enough. They don't take us up a level or whatever. But Shankland, Snodgrass, Cammy Devlin, Rowles, all these players have been class. So you can't. Same with Robbie in that day, you can't say that Robbie doesn't know how to get the best out of players and then ignore the fact that Xander Clark has been amazing since he's come in, Kyle Rowles has been class, etc. You can't ignore all that, say that that's all because Joe Savage has done a great job and they're all shite. But I would say it would be a mix of all. What I would hope that the club are saying, and it goes back to Ando's point before he went to the toilet about how we build and season expectations, is that we've spent £500,000 to £600,000 on Shankland. We've spent £300,000 to £400,000 on Keogh. That's a lot of money, especially for Keogh, who is dug meat.
Probably the most we've spent in a long, long time. So.
Yep, for no reward because no one's going to buy him. No one. He looks like a fish out of water. He looks fucking terrible. So we're not going to get that money back. But you're right, and I've said this before, and I say it's the barometer in which you measure how any club is doing. We shouldn't know who Joe Savage is. We shouldn't know who the head of the academy is. We shouldn't know who sits on the board. The only reason football fans start to know any of that stuff is when shit's going wrong, because they want to vent their anger at who's to blame. Do you know what I mean? Like that's when you know things aren't working, when folks start to deep dive and start looking at all that sort of stuff. You want to know if you're doing a good job as a CEO or a sporting director or a football director or whoever, it'll be that nobody knows who you are. And we're at that bit now where every decision is being made. For example, the players are off. Right? Me personally, after the fucking, five defeats out of 6, we've lost our last 3 games by 3 goals or more, I wouldn't be getting the players' time off. I'd be in the training park being like, we need to fix this. 3-4-3 is not working. Or if it is, you're not playing it right, so we need to fix it. But then, the counter argument to that would be is actually, maybe they could do with a break because they've played Thursday, Sunday for the first start of the season. There's no winter shutdown. They've played in the cup competitions as well, when Aberdeen, it shouldn't be lost on anybody that Aberdeen had 2 weeks to prepare for the game versus us. You know, they've come off a victory, then they've had 2 weeks straight to prepare to play us. We've been beat at Celtic Park, beat at Tynecastle by Celtic, and then stumble into a game versus them.
Yeah,
maybe a break's needed.
I think I do tend to agree with that, because the 2 matches against Celtic were high intensity. You can't just turn up and phone it in. right? So it's not as if you're playing like Motherwell or Livy or some sort of meagre opposition. You're playing the best team in the country, and you do have to put a physical effort in. Playing them twice in such a short spell of time, is especially how they can just rip you all over the park. It's yeah, I think maybe a break is needed. I think what will be telling is how we come back against Kilmarnock and St Mirren. Now, on paper, you'd look at that, and I'm sure we'll cover it shortly. I think you said we were going to on what points we can expect to get there. I think the international break has come at the right time. Just given the opposition that we played and the back of that result on Saturday, I think that doesn't mean that they just get to put their feet up and be on easy street. Gaffer goes away for a new haircut or whatever. I think that there definitely is work that needs to be done, but I just want the confidence that work is going to get done between now and the next game.
Well, Tam, the good news is we're absolutely fucking dog shit at coming back for the international break. Our results after international breaks are horrendous.
Fucking hell. You drained the life out of us.
I was actually thinking about that. But the good thing is the last break we had was the World Cup, and we did come back good after that. But
all these many ones we've lost every game that we've come back from international break, we've lost.
And it's good that 4 of our players are travelling halfway around the world again.
Hopefully fucking 2 of them get left out. Hopefully 2 of them get fucking left, because Kuehl and Atkinson can stay there.
Yeah, agreed.
Absolute fucking dog shit. Cool. Right, let's talk about the last 4 games before the split. We don't need to deep dive Aberdeen. It was a fucking shit show. We've covered it.
You spent an hour on it, so I think we have covered it.
And that was, mate, I've not even got, we're still talking about headlines apparently. I've not even been through my last 2 points. But let's talk about the last 4 games. Obviously, we've got Kilmarnock away, then St Mirren, Hibs, and Ross County. Me and Tam gave our opinion as to what it is. So, Ando, how many points are we getting out of those last 4, and where are they coming from?
Kilmarnock away. I'm just gonna fucking shit all over everything that I've just said. The break's coming at the right time. It's gonna be good. Blah blah blah. Right. Kilmarnock away is a game that I'll look. If we get any points there at all, it's considered a fucking victory, right? Like, even if it's a draw. As I say, been there so many times, never seen us win. Kilmarnock away will be a loss or a draw. I'm tempted to say a loss, because Kilmarnock are they're right down in the mire, aren't they? They're going to be fighting for every single fucking point they can get. St Mirren at home, I think we'll see them. Hibs away, obviously there's 3 points there. And then Ross County at home, I'm going to say 7 points from that.
7 points.
7 points.
Kev?
I was going 8. 8 points, 2 home victories, 2 away draws.
Tam, have you changed your opinion on what you said the last time?
I think I said like 9 or 10 or something, which probably isn't mathematically correct anymore. So, so to be honest with you, I think I agree with Kev actually. 2 away draws, 2 home wins.
I think the wheels will come off it. I'm not even joking. All the indicators are there. The thing with
so you have
is,
changed your mind by that way then?
Massively, because I knew that I didn't.
You've got a green pen.
I didn't think we would win on Saturday, but I didn't think we'd get beat that bad. This reminds me, like, we got beat off Brora. We then got beat at home by Queen of the South. We had fucking protests outside the stadium. We then drew away to Dunfermline 0-0. And then we didn't kick into gear until the following game, where we changed shape, and I think we had 1 home games and 1 away at Rafe Rovers and all that shit.
We've kept that shape since.
And it took us fucking ages to get going. I don't think this is low as Hearts will go. I think that I can't see us beating Kilmarnock.
No.
So I'm gonna say a draw. I think Hibs will beat us at home. I think that what we seen on Saturday was shambolic, and I think that Robbie will put it down to a blip. Kilmarnock is a plastic pitch, hard team to play. They've got a good home record, all that usual shite, and then they'll acknowledge that it's not good enough and that we're in crisis. Beat St Mirren at home because we'll take care of our home games. Lose to Hibs. Beat Ross County. So 6 points. 7 points because I think we'll get a draw at Kilmarnock. 7 points is what I'm going for.
Does that do it for us though? 7 pre-split?
No, because I think Hibs and Aberdeen will win the same. So Hibs will take 3 points off us, which means they'll only be 2 points behind us.
Hibs is running, right? So their next games.
They've not got Rangers or Celtic left.
Well, they've got Motherwell at home, Dundee United away, us obviously at Easter Road, and then St Johnstone away. Aberdeen have St Johnstone away, Kilmarnock at home, Ross County away, Rangers at home. So
you fancy them for 9, probably, I would say.
Probably, yeah. You've got to take 9 out of that. Hibs, I don't know, it's a coin flip. Like Hibs is like as shite as they are. Can pull out results when they need to. So
don't know if they are that shite, to be honest, in comparison to ourselves.
No, they are.
I was actually thinking about the Johan sending off.
2 yellows, so it would just be a 1 game. I was thinking that as well.
So when is his 1 game? Is it this?
It'll be this
the
next
game
coming
against
game, yeah.
Okay. Oh well.
Which is an absolute ridiculous decision as well in itself.
Oh, it was never a red card, but fuck him. Hibs can't. Anything on YouTube before we wrap it up?
I think we're good. That's all right. They're just chatting between themselves about what we're talking about, and it's echoing a lot of what we say, to be honest. Yeah.
Oh, good. Right, well. Oh, I was in football this weekend. Oh, good.
There is.
Can't have my fucking weekend ruined.
Shut up, Tam. Don't even fucking say it.
No one fucking cares, mate. Nobody gives a fuck.
Join me for This Is My Scotland next week.
This is my Livingston. Followed by This Is My Scotland.
You know what? I was buzzing for this tonight because I was like, I could get my aggression out and feel like group therapy, and anyone that's ever been to insert something here anonymous meeting. Like get Alcoholics Anonymous, Gamblers Anonymous. I was going to say, Tam's got that tattooed above his arse.
I thought it was here. Oh, right, okay.
I was going to make a joke there, but I'm not going to bother. But then, Tam, you've zapped the fucking life out of me tonight. You really have.
We'll end it by saying that we finally got the Henry Smith tops yesterday. We should get the rest of them tomorrow. They are packed up and ready to go. They should start landing with us pretty soon. Henry Smith himself will have them. We'll have his top as well. Henry just got double knee reconstruction. He just got 2 brand new knees.
Wow.
So,
Kev, you could talk to him about that, to be honest.
I was like,
we're getting my coaching role.
No, fuck that. Like, that cheesy cunt, get him in the bin. Like get Henry back for a fucking resurgence.
Exactly. But right, boys. Well, I'll see you on Sunday. We'll do this again Sunday. Thanks to everybody on YouTube and that for getting involved. Appreciate it.
Cheers, everyone.
Yep, cheers.
See you later.
All the best, guys.
See you later. Gargaro.